I want to talk to you about the class coming up on Wednesday, May 14th, on shame. And it might as well be called Shame and Excitement. Every Sunday, I like to play softball, and it's a source of great pleasure and shame for me. I try to tell my body to do things and to catch the ball, pitch the ball, and I end up very often in humiliation, just like I did when I was younger, when I was 9, 10 years old and trying to play baseball. And I've come to understand that I'm not trying to avoid shame, I'm kind of courting shame. It's a source of excitement. And for many hours after the game, I get to tell myself about what I did right and to rebuke myself for what I did wrong. That's the nature of it. And shame is stealth, as we'll talk about in the class. Secretly, it's a source of excitement. Now, in the same manner, in my neighborhood, there are places where you go in the evening to study Talmud. And not to put it in the same breath, but the Talmud is like the woman that maybe will wink at you once in a while, but it's like swimming in the Atlantic Ocean. You're going to get humiliated. And it occurs to me, and there are people who are better than me and smarter than me, and this is just an impossible task to try to master this, try to even be competent in it. And it occurs to me again that this is a source of shame and a source of excitement. You have to think about that. If you're a therapist, if you're an analyst, you're thinking about those things and thinking about how people play those things. Now, I want to just read a little bit about what it was like when I first started in therapy as a young man. I had a lot of shame. I couldn't do things myself. I couldn't find a woman to marry myself. I couldn't be successful in money or social life. And so I went to an analyst. And this is a small excerpt of what I did. Okay, so let me just get it right here. I was in my early 20s, and I carried my young manhood all the way uptown to East 82nd Street. And like many young manhoods, it was an unhappy one. I was in my early 20s, adrift without women, and terribly lonely. I was told to ring the bell 3 times in quick succession, and did so. A good friend of mine had told me, go to Elliot. He's a psychoanalyst. He's going to help. It was my time for an appointment. And he told me that he would buzz me in if I buzzed him. Now, what neither he nor anyone else knew was that even though this was brand new, I had never gone to a psychoanalyst before. It was familiar. In the Brooklyn Yeshiva, where I had studied intensely, the head of the yeshiva, a charismatic man from Warsaw, a molder of minds and men, if you wanted to see him, it was the same deal. You rang 3 times, and if he was ready to see you, he buzzed you in. If not, you waited or came back another time, another day, perhaps another year. And when the meeting was over, you backed away from his presence out the door, as with a pharaoh of old or another potentate. One did not show one's back to the great man. Now, after I'd gone through the lobby, I was sitting there waiting for him, and you have to realize I was waiting for his questions. I met him the first time, and he looked like a very well-paid psychoanalyst to me. And he asked me, tell me about your first memory of your mother. And I told him I was 2 years old, and she was looking in on me on the crib. How will this help? He said, you'll see. He said, you'll see. Now, I'd like you to come to my group, he said. Now, I studied his suit and his fancy loafers, his white leather sofa and furniture from Saks or William J. Sloan. He looked like a prosperity guru, ready with an elixir for what ails you. Problems with women? Come to my group. Problems making money? Come to my group. Come to my group. Anyway, we talked a little bit more. I'm going to talk in this class about how one needs to have a different touch, a different approach at different points in life. And at that time, I really needed a showman. And he really fit the bill. And we grew together. We became different things to each other over time. But we did never conquer shame. Can't conquer it, but you can work with it differently. So this class is a source of not shame, but of pleasure and pride for me. And over time, we've developed a community of people who come when they want to, come when they're hungry. So I hope you'll join us, and hope you join me on Wednesday in a week and a half or so to talk about shame, parentheses, and excitement. We're also going to discuss Nathaniel Hawthorne's classic, The Scarlet Letter.